going to be, and any change in the customer preference that you're already seeing on the demand front? All right, we'll get Mr. Garg back, but yes, of course, that's the big GST push that has been coming for the auto space from across the categories, and especially for the small cars. If we see, then from 28%, the overall tax has been slashed to 18%, while for the higher SUVs as well, wherein Hyundai Motors too have some of their top-selling models in that price category too, wherein including the cess, the tax used to go as high as 50%. That now stands at 40%. The biggest worry of late is actually what will happen to the compensation cess, but that's more with respect to the dealers aspect, because with respect to the excitement regarding the festive season, there is indeed something that the dealers are waiting out for clarity. But I believe Tarun is back with us, and Tarun, thank you so much for your time and good speaking with you. And let's talk about the real excitement in place. GST cuts, they are live now. You too have announced the price cuts. Help us understand the demand sentiment right now and how big this festive season could be. What sort of a incremental volume growth are you expecting?
Thank you, Srishti, for having me here. And at the outset, I'd like to really thank the Honorable Prime Minister for ushering in this huge GST reforms. I believe they will give a big impetus to the Indian economy, and especially talking about car industry. You know, if you see last 20 years, never before this kind of a GST cut has happened. You know, I've seen 4%, 6% cuts happening, but now 10%. In fact, 10 to 13% for small cars, and even in the big cars, 3 to 10%. So it's a huge cut. You talked about the growth expectations. It is always very difficult to predict. But if you see last few months, April to August were kind of very muted for the domestic market. Industry has been at -2%, but the CAGR, if you see the 5 years, has been at about 4.5% to 5%. So I believe with this impetus provided by the GST cut, we'll be back to the 5% thing. So the swing, if you see, from -2 to 5 will be about 7%. So like I said, these are only my initial estimates. The bookings have really gone up last few days. We were the first company to announce full passing of the GST cut benefit to the customers. So the showroom traffic has increased. Of course, the 22nd September will usher in the Navratra season, which is very auspicious and very good for most of the country, and then followed by Dhanteras and Diwali as well, and then the marriage season kicks in. So I think we are really expecting some very good demand coming in from 22nd September onwards.
Well, indeed, everybody is excited to for that to happen, and from the consumer front as well. But let's talk about some of the new launches that are lined up. You already know that you have 26 models lined up till FY30, with 8 due in the next 2 quarters, I believe. How many launches can we see happening? Which segment will get priority? Give us some sense.
So Shrishti, I think the new launches always get that kind of excitement. But at the same time, I think sometimes we need to wait for the right time. So my request is please wait. But what is important is that the Pune plant kicks in from Q3 of financial 25-26, which is just starting in October. So just about right time. If you see our capacity, current capacity is 824,000, and the 170,000 of Pune plant will make it about 994,000. And of course, we have married our new product cycle to this Pune plant capacity expansion. So you will see a lot of excitement from Hyundai in the next few years, and not only in terms of new segments, in terms of powertrains. In fact, in addition to the 6 electric vehicles, including upgrades that we have announced, we also announced entering into hybrids. We're already very strong in petrol, CNG, diesel, the entire EV ecosystem, whether it's a charging infrastructure where we are going to have 600 DC fast chargers by 2032. The battery packs have already been localized. Going forward, we have tied up with an Indian local manufacturer for cell manufacturing. So we are very bullish about the Indian market. With the IPO listing, the responsibility increases. At the same time, the opportunities go up as well. So I think we are very excited, and this GST has come absolutely at the right time to really fuel the dreams, into reality.
Oh, well, indeed, Tarun, yes, of course, a lot of exciting factors at play. But let's talk about your export front as well, because you did share your India plans. But what about exports? Because that too is, I believe, close to a 21% contributor right now. But you aim to take it higher to 30% by 2030. Which regions or models will drive this as per you? Because you have so many exciting launches like 6 EVs that you just talked about.
Yes, yes. In fact, if you see April to August, our exports have grown by about 12.5%. And we have increased our impetus on exports. In fact, right from the time Hyundai set foot in India, exports has been a key driver for our sales. It gives us precious foreign exchange. We are the #1 exporter on a cumulative basis. Now I would say it will become double engine, because exports anyway are growing very fast. Outside of Korea, we are the biggest hub for HMC, Hyundai Motor Company. We cater to the emerging markets, Middle East, Africa, Latin America, Asia, of course. You talked about 21% revenue coming in from exports. Yes, this year we are already at about 27% in Q1. I think so that the path is very clear. We already announced that by financial 30, we believe there is an upside now for increasing this to 30%. Because once the capacity comes in, we will be at 1.1 billion. So it will take care of both the domestic as well as exports. The new models which we are launching in the domestic market are very apt because the economies and the preferences of customers in these emerging markets are almost similar to that in India. So I think the opportunities will only go up, including the new powertrains and EVs as well.
Well, indeed, but Tarun, before we let you go on that, yes, of course, the festive season sales is expected to give a big boost. But what within the pockets of India are you expecting the demand to definitely drive the sales higher? Will it be from the urban areas, or will it be from the rural areas where the growth number can be higher as per you?
Yeah, so Shrishti, I think this is a very important question. And if you see the last 2-3 years, whatever growth was coming primarily was from the rural areas. In fact, Hyundai's rural penetration increased from about 19% 3-4 years back to 23% now. But I believe very strongly that once an impetus like a GST cut happens, I think the urban customers, the sentiment goes up dramatically and they also start coming in. It's only 3-4 days, so it's too early to stick your neck out and say, but based on my experience, I would say now it will be double engine there as well, rural as well as urban. So one is on the bottom of the pyramid, as the car penetration is 34 per thousand. So we will see the penetration going up. There's a huge opportunity there. More importantly, I would say the aspirations kicking in, because anyway, customers know that how much they could pay. So they could, so that is not changing. But what is changing is in the same price, they will be able to get a higher segment, they will be able to get more features, and their aspirations can be fulfilled. So to that extent, I believe that the less than 10 lakh rupees SUV segment could see a huge opportunity here, because that will take care of both the aspirations, affordability, safety, technology, connectivity, automatic, everything is taken care of. So I am really betting on that less than 10 lakh rupees segment SUVs, which will probably be a huge growth driver. Of course, in addition to, like I said, at the base of the pyramid, as well as all segments where customers are anyway moving to last few years.
But Tarun, so good having you on the channel today. Thank you so much for taking the time out and speaking with us, and wishing you all the best for the upcoming sales for the festive season. All right, so that was the management of Hyundai Motors talking to us about how